Let's go to Orlando, Florida, and speak to the lawyer and broadcaster, Joseph Haynes Davis. Joseph, thanks for staying up late. It's past midnight for you, we know that. Are you surprised at the 2-year sentence?
Yes, I am. Now, and as always, thank you for having me. Listen, the probability, I should say, of what the judge was thinking was the totality of the background and so forth of Ms. Potter, who, again, has been convicted and now sentenced. Her 25 years of service as a person in the police force, apparently a trainer of other policemen, and so forth. On the other hand, the discretion could be used to justify a higher sentence because the old adage, police should be and ought to be held at a higher standard, may have been applicable. And I'm sure there are many, many, many people who feel that way. I believe the prosecution wanted more than 7 years. I believe the top end was a possible 8 years. I think that when you have that type of discretion and you are able to give a sentence on the top end, it likely does send a message to the convicted person, and in this instance, the agency that the convicted person works for.
Okay, let's just give Joseph a few more seconds to see if he returns. But the story we're covering here is the case in April of police officer Kimberly Potter, as she was then. She is no longer a police officer, killing Daunte Wright during a traffic stop. Joseph, you're back with us. Listen,
okay.
I just wanted to ask you, obviously justice should be colorblind, so it may not be for the court to consider, but certainly normal citizens will surely be thinking, would Kimberly Potter have policed the situation differently if Daunte Wright had been a white man?
You never know. You just never know. But that is an argument that is part of the discussion that is going on. And may I add that Minneapolis, Minnesota, one could argue, is now ground zero for these police misconduct matters. You've just had an incident, most recently, of the no-knock raid killing of Amir Locke. So that can definitely be a justified thought pattern for those who are watching these police matters throughout the United States, but in particular in Minnesota and in Minneapolis. But before I was cut off, one of the things I also wanted to say is that given the fact that police can and should be held to a higher standard, a good argument could be made that the top end of sentencing may have been appropriate for this instance, even though one can argue that it was a mistake. But it was indeed a fatal mistake, because you cannot bring back the life of Daunte Wright, even though he may have resisted in some kind of way the investigation and the arrest and so forth when it was happening. No one needs to die for that.
Joseph, always appreciate your time. Thank you so much indeed. Sleep well. Joseph Haynes Davis in Florida.